The main form in ACE Express is the Investigator form, which you can see here. The primary purpose of the Investigator is to help you find out information about property and evidence that has been previously entered into ACE Express. The Investigator has 5 search features that allow you to search the database for submissions and items that match. Once you've searched, ACE Express displays all relevant information about the items, submissions, associated people, and officers. ACE Express allows the user to search in 5 different ways. More on that in later videos. While each search criteria is different, the kind of information that it returns is usually the same. The main part of the Investigator has 2 areas: the results and the details. The results area is on the left and is a list of the submissions that match the criteria. The details is on the right and shows details of the submission, item, officer, or person that is selected in the results area. As you change what is selected in the results area, the details will change accordingly. Let's take a look and see what that might look like. Let's do a search on a case number. This will bring me up all submissions that start with the case number 1234. In this example, case number 1234 has returned 2 submissions, 06000012 and 06000017. These are in the results. The plus symbol here shows that there's more information about these submissions. Let's go ahead and do that. Here we can see, here's more information. This is an item, a person, an officer, and an officer. Let's take each one of these so we can figure out what each of them means. When we click this, over here on the right, we can see the inventory details, or the submission details. Here we can see the ACE number, the case number, the voucher, the inventory type, date received, date logged, the officer number of the property officer, submitting officer and responsible officer, any circumstances, as well as a synopsis of the items, people, and officers associated with that inventory. When we click on this, we realize that this is an item. The type of item is depicted here. Weapons are shown with the gun. Narcotics and other types of items have different pictures, but this we know it's a gun, or it's an item. Here are some item details. We have a quantity, the current item status, the NCIC code of the item's current location, any serial number that might be with the item, as well as an item description. This plus symbol here shows that there might be some item history associated with the item. Anytime an item is entered into ACE Express, the item might go through several transactions before it goes out of the system. Here we can see what transactions occurred against this item. Just click here and you can see the item history, the transaction, the date and time, what transaction it was, and who did it. There's one and there's another one. Just 2 transactions on this item. Let's go ahead and close that up. This is a person record. Here it shows you the name ID of the person's name, the relationship to the submission here, in this case a finder, the date of birth of the person's address, and the person's phone number. This is another person entered for the item. Once again, name ID, name, relationship, date of birth, address, and phone number. Here are several officers that were involved with the submission. Thomas Tucker, David Wilson, he was the responsible officer. Bill Callahan was the submitting officer. Tucker was the property officer who entered the information. And you will notice that down here, not as much information, but still, here we can see the item, the person involved with it, if there are any, and the officer. Keep in mind that Tucker here was both the property, responsible, and the submitting officer for all this. So instead of 3 officers, you have 1 that had 3 responsibilities here. These are the search basics that you'll need to know when you further investigate ACE Express's Investigator. It's a very powerful tool that shows a lot of information in a very small area.